Hi, welcome. This is Kelly here with the Yoga on Main online studio. Today I am bringing you a challenging flow practice. This class will be similar to our Monday night hot yoga and our Wednesday power flow class. This practice will get you nice and warm, get the blood pumping, get the heart pumping, and then hopefully end with a nice relaxing shavasana. Join me on your mat when you're ready. You don't need any props, but 2 blocks might be helpful if you have them handy in child's pose. As you start to get settled into your child's pose, make sure the knees are nice and wide, almost as wide as the mat. We're going to crawl the fingertips forward. Think about reaching the fingertips forward and pushing the hips back at the same time. And then get that nice long position. You can sway the torso side to side as it settles right in between the thighs. And then relax the back of the neck. Let the head rest on the floor. Start to just notice some of the things going on around you. Noticing the floor beneath you. The temperature of your room or the air. All of those things that bring us more in tune with the present moment. Begin to switch into a nice deep inhale through the nose and nice long exhale through the nose. Of course, practicing at home can be a different experience than being in the studio. Following along with a teacher and classmates in person. Following a video can feel different. There may be distractions around your house. But instead of looking at those things as challenges to your practice, look at those things as ways to be more present. So those distractions, those other noises we might hear, are just things that move us deeper into the present moment. Bringing you back to the breath. We'll begin to switch to our Ujjayi breath. Nice big inhale. And exhale through the back of the throat. Subtle, audible sound. If you're trying this at home, see if you can open the mouth like you're fogging up a mirror in front of you. And then try it again with the mouth closed. We'll do about 3 more on your own. When you're ready, we'll start to wiggle those fingers. And we're going to walk the fingers over towards the left side of your mat. Maybe even off the edge of the mat. Good. Settle the head down. Pull the right hip crease back. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, stretch that right hand just a little bit longer, maybe even crossing it over the back of the left hand. And then we'll make our way back to center. Good. Passing through center over to the right side. Stretch the fingertips long, pull the left hip crease back, and then settle down. Take the left hand, cross it over the back of the right hand to stretch a little bit more. Feeling that length and opening. Make your way back to center, and we'll come up to our tabletop position. Draw the knees a little bit more narrow. Push down through the shins, the entire palm, spread out through the fingertips so you can see the space in between each finger. And we're going to start to move in and out of our cat-cow. So inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Draw belly up, tailbone tucks under, head releases down. Inhale, starting that movement at the very center of the body, and then exhale, round. Try about 3 more on your own, bringing that Ujjayi breath into the movement. Last one here, taking your time, maybe moving a little bit deeper. From that strong tabletop position, we'll return to a neutral spine. Walk the hands one handprint forward. Tuck those toes under and slowly glide up into your first downward facing dog. In this position, we're going to let the head hang, pedal out the legs a little bit, finding that right position for your body today. Knowing that our downward dog shape can be different depending on the day, depending on how we slept, what our activity was like. Really just trying to tune into what's going on in your body. Give the head a little shake, yes and no, really relaxing. Any thoughts, distractions, let them fall towards the floor. Good. Settle into a nice still posture. We're going to hold for 3 more breaths. Feel the shoulders pull away from the ears. Nice open space around the neck and the shoulders. At the end of that last exhale, we'll make our way back into our tabletop position. Good. Check in. Make sure the knees are directly under the hips. We'll push down into those hands, and we're going to come into a puppy pose. So start to cross the fingertips forward, move the hips slightly back, but try to keep the hips over the knees. The idea is to lengthen the chest towards the floor, open up the armpits all the way into those triceps. You can gaze towards the front edge of your mat, or you might want to bring the chin down or mouth onto your mat. Forehead can come down too. Breathe into that entire space on the sides of the body, under the armpit, stretching down into the waist. Take 2 more full breaths. We'll start to walk those hands back nice and slow. Good. Coming about halfway back, we're going to keep the left hand down, reach the right hand all the way up, and then glide it right behind the back of the wrist. Place the whole right shoulder on the floor. Maybe the right ear comes down as well. And then left hand starts to walk forward as you come into your thread the needle position. Gazing towards that right palm as it faces up. From here, we're going to start to take the left foot back. So root down through the left palm, left leg extends back. Core stays engaged. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to lift that left foot off the floor. Flex the foot so you stay active through the back of the leg. 1 more inhale. Exhale, extend that leg all the way out to the left side of the mat. Place the foot down, close to the fingertips, and maybe you can take the peace fingers around that big toe and hold on. 1 or 2 more full breaths here. When you're ready, unhook the toe. Left hand comes back in front of the face. Push into that hand as you lift all the way up into a gate position. Good. Start to check in on your stance. We want to make sure that the knee and the foot are in line, so make any corrections you need to. And we'll start to slide the left hand down the leg. Right fingertips reach all the way up, stretching down through the right side body. Pull the head back slightly, pull that right elbow back. Maybe it needs to bend. And then continue to breathe here. Good. When you're ready, we're going to reach the hands all the way down to the hips. Pull both hip creases back. Starting to feel a stretch to the inner edge of the left leg. You can stay here. You can start to walk the hands forward, providing a little traction by pushing into the hands and feeling those hips reach back more. We'll take one more full inhale. And as you exhale, push down into those hands, lift back up to center. We're going to let that left leg extend behind you. And then keep it lifted, rotate to the side, reach that left hand up into your half moon. Good. Finding that stability. Pull the shoulders back, pull the head back. Take one more big inhale. And just noticing what that balancing feels like today. Option to catch a bind by bending the back knee, reach for the outer edge of the foot. Keep the heel behind the hip. Hip pushing forward, pull the head back, maybe gaze up. One more big inhale. Exhale, we'll extend it back out. Left leg stays lifted, both hands come down. Check in on that neutral spine, core engaged. Start to flex the back foot, pull the heel in, and then reach the right hand back. Kick the foot into the hand, create a bow-like shape, keeping stability at the front of the body, but maybe gazing forward. One more full inhale. And exhale, we'll release it out. Both hands come down, that left knee comes down, and we'll start some hip circles. Move those hips back and to the right, all the way up and to the left. Good, continue to move around in this way, finding some space in the hips, just working out anything that feels stuck. All right, let's do two more in that same direction. Good. All right, from here, we come back to our tabletop position. Hands walk one hip print forward, make our way into our downward facing dog. Press the chest back. Feel the shoulders draw away from the ears. Shake the head and neck out. Take one more full inhale. As you exhale, lower the knees down towards the floor. We're going to walk the hands forward, finding that puppy pose. Stretch the chest long. Feel the hips pull back, but try to keep the hips over the knees. Chin can come down, or you can bring the whole mouth towards the mat. Maybe crawl the fingertips forward a little bit more, opening up the armpits. Good. When you're ready, slide the hands back slightly. We're going to reach the left hand up, all the way up towards the sky, ceiling, and then behind the right wrist. Good. Lay that whole left shoulder down. Ear can come down. Right hand stays in front of the face for stability, or you can start to walk it forward. Fingertips down, core engaged. So try not to let that belly drop down towards the floor too much. Inhale here, and then we'll extend that right leg back, finding that stability. Push down through the right hand, providing a little traction there, and then lift that right heel off the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, right leg extends out to the side and lowers all the way down. Maybe close to that left hand, you can hook. Breathing where you are. From that position, take an inhale. Exhale, we'll unhook from the toe. Slide the right hand back in front of the face. Push down through that right hand. Back to our gate position. Right heel slides back a little bit to line up with the knee as you come into that posture. Good. Hands on the hips, just check in on that stability. Pull the head back, nice long spine. Right hand slides down the right leg and left fingertips reach up. Inhale completely. Exhale completely, maybe moving a little deeper. Stretching all the way down through that left side body. big inhale. As you exhale, we'll make our way back to center. Good. Pull the shoulders back and down. Walk those hands forward as the hips reach back. So start to find a little movement, feeling that right inner thigh stretched. Fine. And then you can push into the hands a little bit as those hips pull back. Good. One more big inhale. Exhale, shift forward. Keep the left hand down, line it up with the left knee. Right hand stays grounded, finding some balance here. You can move that left shin back to find a little bit more support. And then reach that right hand straight up into your half moon. Good. Take another full inhale. Pull the shoulders back, pull the head back, and then option to bend that right knee. Reach for the outer edge. Flex the foot, kick into the hand, create that bow-like shape. Inhale all the way. Pull the head back, maybe gaze up. And then we'll extend back out again. Reach the right hand down. Keep that right leg lifted. Flex the foot, reach through the heart, and then pull the heel in. Left hand's going to reach back, opposite hand. Grab the inner edge of the foot this time. Inhale for stability. Exhale, kick the foot into the hand, gaze forward, root down into that right palm. Nice job. Inhale all the way. Exhale all the way. And then make your way back into a tabletop position. Left hand down, right knee down. We'll start to move those hips back towards the left side. Sweep them forward and up. And exhale back and to the right. Good. About 3 more. Just finding that space again. Getting out the snap, crackle, pops in the knees and the hips. All part of our movement practice. When you're ready, we'll make our way back to a downward facing dog position. Push down into those hands. Make sure you can see the mat between each finger, especially that inner edge of the palm is grounded. Head relaxes, shoulders away from the ears. Space around the neck. And breathing here. Good. Let the head and neck relax. One more full breath. And then we'll slowly begin to round forward into our full plank position. Check in on the space. You may need to wiggle the feet or walk the hands forward. Gazing out in front, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. We'll try this a few more times. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, moving back into downward dog. If you have the right space between the hands and the feet, they should stay stationary. Just the shoulders and the hips controlling the movement. Good. This next time we come into our plank pose. Pause here. We're going to use the toes to shift us forward. Shoulders come past the fingertips. Drop down, chaturanga, push up, straight back up. And then back, downward facing dog, building into a deeper flow. Inhale, we'll come forward. Use the toes to shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Third one here. Inhale, plank pose. Toes shift you forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Use the knees if you need to. Back into downward facing dog. This time we'll do a few more, adding in our scoop up, our more traditional vinyasa. Inhale, plank. Exhale, shift forward, lower chaturanga. Inhale, scoop up, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the knees or the top of the feet, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Let's try it again. Inhale into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Third one, getting us nice and warm. Inhale all the way. Shift forward a little bit more. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Widen out those knees. Push the hips back towards the heels. Make your way back into a child's pose. At this point, you can roll out those wrists. Give them a little squeeze. Make a fist and roll them around. About 2 more breaths in your child's position. When you're ready, back up into our tabletop position. Tuck those toes under. Slowly bend the knees and walk the feet towards the hands, coming into our forward fold. We'll release over the legs. Shake out the head and neck here. Notice where the weight is in the feet. See if you can shift forward to the front of the feet, letting the heels become light. We'll begin to build deeper into some more complex flows, bringing those vinyasas and some standing postures, tying it all together. One more full inhale. And then bend the knees. Start to roll up the spine one vertebra at a time. Root into the feet. Slide the shoulders back. Lifting up to your Tadasana pose. Check in. Notice what it feels like to stand up after some of the movement we did on the floor. Good. With your next inhale, we'll reach those hands all the way out and up, coming into a little back bend. Push the hips forward, open up the heart, slide the shoulders down the back. And then exhale, gather in through the core, slide the hands down to the heart center. At that same time, we're going to push into the left foot, lift the right knee towards the chest. Good, find that stability there. Flex the foot like you're standing up onto something. Draw the belly in. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to lean forward, bend the standing leg, and start to control the movement back. See if you can go as slow as possible. Extend through the right heel, and then slowly lowering that right toe to barely touch the floor, and then into your high lunge. Reach those fingertips up. Good, check in here and see how that feels. Maybe making any adjustments you need in your posture, wider stance for more balance, longer stance for a little bit more depth. One more big inhale. And then we'll take the right hand all the way down on the inside of the foot. Good, pull that left shoulder back. Inhale all the way. And then start to pay attention to that back leg, back heel pulls behind you, back thigh lifts off the floor as close as, or as high as you can get it. We're going to use this top hand to pull us up to a twisted lunge, or tornado pose as we call it. Inhale, use that top hand, lift the right hand slowly off the floor, and reach out in both directions. Arms are moving in opposite direction of the legs. See if you can sink a little lower in your lunge. Inhale. Exhale, left hand sweeps forward back to that high lunge position. Check in. And then open it all the way. Right heel pivots down, warrior two. Good, keep the same depth in the hips, but this right hip is rolling open and that back heel is down. Check in on both hands. Pull the shoulder blades together. Inhale all the way. Exhale, settle in. Inhale all the way. Exhale, right hand slides down the back leg, left fingertips lift up, reverse warrior. Pull the head back. Keep that left hip moving towards the floor as you reach the left fingertips away. One more inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down, right fingertips lift up. Triangle pose. Hand can come just slightly in front or behind the shin. Try to keep it hovering to not pour weight into that leg. Squeezing the inner edges of the thighs together to find that lift. One more big inhale. Exhale, bend the left knee. You can use a block here, a water bottle, or fingertips to the floor as you come up into your half moon pose. Pull the shoulders back, roll that right hip open, flex that right foot. Inhale all the way. Exhale all the way. One more inhale. We're going to take the right hand all the way down towards the floor. Pivot the right hip down so the toes point towards the floor as well. And then we're going to start to revolve our half moon, bringing the left hand to the hip. You might just keep it there, or if you want to go a little further, you can reach the left hand up. Good. Try to keep that right heel at the same height, standing leg nice and straight. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And then left hand comes down. We're going to start to move back into our lunge. Left leg follows, coming into our plank. Good. We'll start to build into that vinyasa. So first we go back downward dog. And then we move into our plank. Inhale. We shift forward, lower down, push up. Inhale, back up to plank. Build it all together, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop up. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 long breath cycles here. Feel free to sigh out some of that heat in the body. When you're ready, look up towards the top of the mat. You can start to bounce those legs, step or hop all the way up. Pull the heart forward, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, bring it all the way out and up. We'll bring those hands to the heart center. Tapping back in. Good. From this position, as those thumbs press into the sternum, we're going to root down through the right foot, lift the left foot off the floor. Good. Core stays engaged. Start to lean forward as you extend the left leg back, bending the standing right leg. And we'll reach all the way into our lunge position. Nice and slow and controlled, back foot lowers, and then we bring it up. Reach those fingertips up, find your high lunge position. First few breaths here are just to observe, seeing what this side needs. Settling in a little deeper. We're going to take the left hand down on the inside of the foot. Right hand lifts. Rotate through the torso. Bring that left rib cage towards the inside of the right knee. Pull the head back. Starting to use those top fingers to bring a little energy into. Push through both feet. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another and lift it up into our twisted lunge. Reaching out like you're going to give someone a big hug. Hopefully not for real, since we're staying away from everyone. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, right hand reaches us forward, back up to our high lunge position. Good, settle in a little deeper. And then exhale, left heel pivots down, right hand reaches forward into our warrior two. Take a peek at the feet. We want that alignment of the right heel to the left arch. And then check in on both hands, letting those fingertips be an extension of the shoulders. One more inhale, just settling in, finding that stillness in the body as well as the mind. Left hand slides down the back leg, right fingertips lift up, reverse warrior. Good, open up through that right side body, pull the head back. And then straighten out the right leg, move all the way into your triangle pose. Good. Use that right kneecap, draw up so you engage the front of the thigh. Hamstring opens up a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And then we're going to bend that front knee. Walk the fingertips forward, scoot that back foot in as you make your way into your half moon. Flex that lifted leg, straighten out the standing leg. Eyes focused on a non-moving point, especially if that balance feels a little challenging on this side. Otherwise, you can start to shift the gaze, move it to the side, or maybe up towards that top hand. Inhale here. As you exhale, left hand will come to the floor. Pivot that left hip. Toes will point down, and then right hand comes up. Start to rotate, look towards the right, and then right hand can lift, revolved half moon position. Inhale all the way. Exhale all the way. When you're ready, both hands come down. We'll start to step back into our lunge and then step back into our plank. Inhale here. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, forward plank pose. Exhale, lower, little chaturanga push-up, right back up. Exhale, downward dog, and we'll pull it all together. Inhale, plank. Exhale, push up. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 long breath cycles here. Take your time, find that extra space that wasn't available earlier. Last one. Look forward towards the top of the mat. Bend those knees, step or hop your way up. Pull the heart forward, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, bring it all the way out and up. We'll add in some cleansing breaths here, so sweep those hands out and up. Inhale. Exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out. 2 more just like that. Inhale what you need. Exhale what you don't. 1 more. Back to that Tadasana position, checking in once again. We'll begin to move through our last flow through. So just taking a moment, you can grab some water if you need it. And then we'll come back to our Tadasana position, root down into the feet. Inhale, reach it all the way up. Little back bend, open up through the front body. Exhale, as those hands come to heart center, we're going to lift the right foot off the floor. Draw the knee towards the chest. As you extend the right leg back, the right fingertips are going to come down into that revolved half moon shape. So we tap in, right hand down, right leg back, and then we draw it back up into that standing position. Perfectly fine if you need to tap the right toes to the floor behind you. Eyes at a non-moving point out in front of you to keep that focus, and all that balance comes in from the core. Low back and belly engaged. Good. This is our 3rd one. See if you can start to open up those arms, that top arm towards the left a little bit. We have 2 more. Exhale as you deepen. Standing leg stays bent to start. Last one here. Inhale, exhale. We'll extend it back. Then move the right hand just to the inside of the foot. Right leg steps all the way back into that revolved lunge. Pull the left shoulder back, gaze towards that top hand. And then we're going to start to turn the palm to face away. Hand slides across the low back towards that right hip crease. Maybe deepening your twist a little more. Hug the left knee into center. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can use that same momentum of the top hand, even without it lifted. Come up to the fingertips. Reach the right hand forward and come all the way into that revolved twist. Reverse revolved warrior. Inhale all the way. Slide the right hand down to the front of the right thigh. Maybe peek towards the right heel. One more inhale. Rotate towards the front of the mat. Both hands join behind the low back. Interweave fingers or cross at opposite elbow. Push those knuckles away as you deepen into your inhale. Exhale. Last one. Pivot the feet into warrior two. Keep the hands behind. We're going to keep the right hand at the low back this time, so you can kind of use your left hand to bring it around. Left fingertips reach up and reach back, reverse warrior. One more big inhale. Exhale all the way into that triangle pose. Keep the right hand at the low back. Pull the right shoulder back, head back. Inhale all the way. Bend the left knee, left fingertips reach out, make your way into your half moon. Good, this time we're opening up into a bind. Optional pose. Bend that right knee. Bend the standing leg as well if it's hard to reach the outer edge of that right foot. And then rotate the heel behind the hip. Push the front of the right hip crease forward. Kick the foot into the hand slightly. Inhale all the way. Exhale, we're going to extend the right leg out, reach the right hand forward to the floor. Pivot on the hip pivot the hips so that the toes are pointing down towards the floor, and we'll keep the right hand down this time. Left hand reaches back, grab that right foot. Kick the foot into the hand, find some stability here. Maybe the hand hovers or reaches forward. And then we're going to come into a standing split variation. Lift that right knee. Walk the right hand in a little closer and gaze towards the big toe. Squeezing your right heel towards the left hip or hamstring. At the end of your next breath, we'll bring the left hand down. Reach that right foot way up. Standing split. Point the toe. Inhale. Exhale, send it back. Step plank. Traditional vinyasa through. Inhale all the way. Exhale, shift forward, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. 3 breaths here this time. Squeeze the back of the body together. Scoot those hips towards the wrists. One more big breath. Exhale, downward dog. Settling in. Nice job. When you're ready, we're going to look forward towards the top of the mat. Step or hop your way there. Pull the heart forward, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, bring it all the way out and up. Good, little back bend here. And then draw those hands to heart center. Thumbs come down to the sternum. Lift the left foot off the floor. Find stability first. Check in. See what's going on here. As the left leg extends back, the left fingertips are going to move towards the floor as we work our way into that revolved lunge. Left leg back, left fingertips down. Finding that stability the whole way. So instead of just hoping the hand makes it to the floor before you fall, finding that slow movement, standing leg stays bent the whole time. Eyes stay focused, core stays engaged. Inhale. Exhale as you fold. Last one here. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And then step that left foot back. Make your way into that twisted lunge. Inhale, stretch it out in all directions. Exhale, right hand slides down to that left hip crease. Pull the head back, draw the right knee in towards center. Push down through that right foot. And then inhale, left fingertips reach up, all the way up. Revolved reverse warrior. Keep lifting the left thigh behind you. Maybe look over the right shoulder towards the left heel. Inhale all the way. Exhale, feet stay in the same position. Rotate towards the front edge of the mat. Interweave the fingers behind, opposite grip of the hands if possible. Heart opens, deepening into your lunge. Nice job. Good, keep those hands behind. Relax through the collarbones. Inhale. Exhale, pivot, warrior two. Good. We're going to keep the left hand around the back. Use that right hand to bring it around. And then right fingertips lift up, reverse warrior. Inhale here. Exhale, right leg straightens into your triangle. Good, keep that left hand across the low back. Use that to move the shoulder behind, move the head back. When you're ready, bend the right knee. Good, step that left foot in and make your way into your half moon. Good, so do what makes sense for your body. Same thing on the other side. You have an option to come into that bind. Standing leg can bend to make it a little easier to reach that foot. And then start to open it up. Also, something under the right hand will make it easier to reach that foot as well. Breathe where you are. Only changing the gaze when you feel completely stable in the balancing posture. One more inhale. Exhale. We're going to start to reach the left leg back, left hand down. Good. Pivot on the hips or shift the hips so that both are facing down towards the floor. And then bend that left knee again. Right hand reaches back. Pull the heel towards the hip. Heart forward to lengthen. And then exhale, we're going to deepen and fold. Lift the knee towards the ceiling or the sky. One more inhale. Standing leg straightens out. And then lifted leg begins to straighten out as we come into our standing split. Give it as much space as you got. Use all that warmth you've created in the body to find a little bit more space. Exhale, send it all the way back into your plank. Inhale. Vinyasa your way through. 3 breaths here. Take some time. Tuck the tailbone under. Scoop the front of the hips towards the wrists. Maybe a little movement side to side. Last one. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, let's look towards the top of the mat. Step or hop your way there. Pull the heart forward, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Swan dive, bring it out and up. We'll do those 3 cleansing breaths again. So gather it in. Sip in that prana, that life force, that breath. Sigh it out. Inhale. One more. Good. Let's bring those thumbs to heart center. Bowing the wisdom of the mind to the compassion of the heart. As always, when we practice, we're letting our heart lead, trying to get out of the mind a little bit, which can seem slightly more difficult these days. Just knowing you can always come to that place of surrender on your mat, letting go of all of that in the mind, even if it's just for a moment. When you're ready, blink those eyes open. We'll release the hands down. Start to widen out your stance. From here, we're going to start to reach the hips back. Nice deep squat, finding that length in the low back. See how that feels, and then pivot the toes to point out to the side and keep dropping the hips down as you come into your malasana or garland pose. Those thumbs can come back to the heart center, and then start to really pull the heel of the hand towards the sternum, lifting the chest and lengthening the tailbone down at the same time. Good, checking in here. We'll soften the neck, soften the shoulders, just try to settle in. One more breath. Good, we're going to reach those hands down towards the floor. Slowly start to let the hips rise as the toes point back towards the top edge of the mat. You can take the peace fingers around the big toes. We'll find length, so push through those heels. Pull the heart forward, feel the back of the legs open. And then exhale, bend those knees and fold, pulling yourself a little closer. Let the head relax, gazing in between the legs, new perspective as you look at the world upside down for a moment. At the end of the next exhale, release the hands from the toes. We'll reach those hands down towards the floor. Toe heel the feet a little closer together if you want to center yourself on the middle of your mat. We're going to try out a crow pose for a moment. Root down into the hands, grip all 10 fingertips into the floor and keep the finger mounds down. Bend those knees, come up onto the toes, onto your perch, and bend the elbows. Find that stability first, and then see what it feels like to look forward and find some balance. Breath is steady. Come out when you're ready, or when your body needs to be ready. And then land those feet a little closer together. We're going to come back into a forward fold again. They can be all the way together or just a few inches apart. We'll inhale, create length in the spine again. Inhale. Exhale, slide the palms under the balls of the feet into a deeper forward fold. Give those wrists a little massage with the toes. Let the head hang, pulling yourself slightly closer to the legs. Elbows bend, shoulders relax away from the ears. Three more breaths here. Nice job. When you're ready, we'll make our way back. Hands walk forward, knees come all the way down to the floor. Good. We're going to widen out the heels slightly so that you have space to sit in between the heels. Take your hands right behind the knees to the calf flesh, roll it out to the side and pull it back, giving your knees a little bit more space. And then you're going to sit those hips down towards the floor for a Virasana or hero's pose. If the hips don't easily come to the floor, roll up a blanket, use a block under the hips. The main thing we want to be careful of is that the knees do not lift. We want to keep them down. Stay here, take an inhale, feel that opening up. If you choose, you can come into a reclined hero's pose. Just make sure those feet are hugging in close to the hips. Feet don't point out to the side. And then you can start to reach back. Knees can widen, but make sure they don't lift off the floor. Lower down to the elbows. Check in, see how that feels. Find space through the body. And then feel free to bring the back shoulder blades down, maybe even the back of the head. If you want to come into the full position, we're going to scoop the tailbone under, feeling that opening up through the hip flexors and the quads, and then hands can reach to opposite elbow. Find some space here. Here, as we wind down our practice, is where we let go of expectations. We let go of what did or did not happen on our mat, and then just be grateful that we were able to be present, we were able to move our bodies in this way. Breathing deeply into the belly. Last full inhale and exhale. Slowly start to bring yourself out of the pose, propping up onto the elbows first, hands behind, and then walk your hands forward. We're going to come back into a downward dog position just to open up the knees and the ankles again. Pedal it out, create some space. One more opportunity just to find that opening in the body, that true alignment of the spine. When you're ready, we'll slowly come down onto the knees. Swing the legs out to the side, coming into a seated posture. Good. We're going to bring the bottom of the feet together, making our way into a bound angle pose. All right, as you get there, start to walk the hips a little closer to the heels, maybe fluttering the knees. We'll hold onto the shins, pull the shoulders back, gaze up to feel that lift in the chest, and then exhale, push the elbows to the inside of the thighs, lean forward. Good, you can start to walk the hands out in front or cup the feet. Good, drawing yourself a little deeper and finding that balance between effort and ease. So this practice was challenging, exerted a lot of effort. That effort, that warmth in the body allows us to move deeper in these seated poses. But we want to start to shift into that place of ease, not exerting so much effort to get into the deepest shape. Using the breath to slow things down. When you're ready, start to walk the hips back a little deeper, creating more of a diamond shape between the feet, trying to line up your face right over the arches. We'll inhale, pull the heart forward, create a little lift. And then exhale, option to open the bottom of the feet like a book. And only if it feels appropriate for your body, you can start to round in. Let the chin come towards the chest, the top of the head, forehead, and skull can come right into those feet. You can even lift the feet slightly towards the head. And breathing here. Finding that space. Anytime the head is grounded to something, it sends a little message to the body that we're relaxing, even if it's a deep, intense stretch. One more inhale. When you're ready, we're going to roll our way up. Nice and slow. Gather the outer edges of the legs, bring them together. Slide the heels forward. Good, creating a nice long position. Move whatever's in your way so the sit bones can really get grounded. And then we're going to push down into our Dandasana position, seated staff pose. Lengthen up through the top of the head, flex the feet, push through the heels, and then add the arms. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, hinge forward. Reach to whatever feels best for you. You can hold on to the feet, the ankles, the back of the knees. Once you get a grip onto something, we're going to inhale, pull the heart forward, create another lift. And then exhale, release everything down. Good. Shoulders release away from the back. Head can come down. About 3 to 5 long breath cycles here, taking your time. The end of that last exhale, slowly release whichever grip you have. Roll your way up nice and slow. Good. Our last posture is going to be a wide forward fold. You can turn to the side of your mat so your heels stay on your mat, or just extend out if you have the space. Start to get the legs as straight as they can be, sitting up nice and tall, just like our Dandasana position. Hands can go behind. Inhale, flex the feet. And then exhale, we'll begin to crawl the hands forward. Good. You might come down to the forearms, or you might bring the floor to you. If you have blocks, a pillow, something you want to bring under the chest, that's a great option here. Inhale again, create space. Lift the chest. And then exhale, deepen. Good. Letting that sense of ease wash over the body. Letting go. Finding this sense of ease and intention as we get into some of these deeper postures at the end of our practice. Can we keep that same intention for being present even as it gets a little bit more challenging to sit with the discomfort? About 3 more breaths here. As you're ready, we're going to bring our way back up. Swing the legs around, coming onto the back. Finishing up our practice with a little gentle twist, so you can pull those knees into the chest and just rock them around. Good. Finding some space, massaging the low back towards the floor. We'll start by bringing the legs to the left. Spread out through the back of the right shoulder. You can look towards those right fingertips. Feel free to stay here, or you can start to extend that top leg. Reach for the edge of the foot. Moving away from that Ujjayi breath here, we're just switching to a normal, restful breathing rhythm, whatever that means for you. And always sigh out through the mouth. One more inhale. Exhale. We'll bring those legs back to center. Start to switch over to the other side. way into our complete Shavasana. I will walk you through Shavasana and tell you when to come out if you want to join me in that process. Good. This is where our body begins to absorb all the benefits of the movement that we've done. So bringing just as much intention and relaxation here as we've done with all our other postures. Feel free to keep the knees bent, feet on the floor, letting the knees fall together, or you can extend the legs out long. Start to roll the shoulders under the back, draw the chin slightly to the chest to find that space. And here we'll just begin to let go. Letting go of effort. Coming back to that awareness of the things around you, the floor that supports you, your mat, the temperature of the room or the space around you, the other more subtle sounds other than my voice of the video or your breathing. Looking at all of those pieces as reminders of the authentic and true present moment. beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes, rolling out your wrists and ankles once again. Taking a nice big inhale, inviting movement and awareness back to the surface of the body. As you're ready, bending your knees, placing your feet on your mat, rolling onto one side. And then gently making your way up to a seated posture. Feel free to keep the eyes closed, or you can start to gaze down at the floor. We'll gather the hands to the heart center. If that feels comfortable for you, you can just fold them in the lap. We'll take one more full breath all together. Inhale, just as we close our classes in the studio. Exhale, let it go. Thank you for joining me on your mat today for this virtual practice. We'll be back with more videos. Don't forget to subscribe and like our channel, share with others if you enjoyed it, and namaste.